Hello friends, in this video tutorial I will be explaining on some of the basic AutoCAD commands and how to use them. AutoCAD has an approximate of 150 commands and I will explain the main 33 in this two-part video series. The other commands will be explained while we are making drawings in order for you to understand better. Please take a minute to like and subscribe to my channel for updates on future videos. Let's start. The first command that we will always use will be a polyline. So to bring in a polyline, type PL for polyline and press enter or spacebar and you can draw your polyline. Now the difference between a line and a polyline is that a polyline has this continuation. However, if you use a line, it does not. And a polyline will have this middle grip always thin and the two outsides will be thick boxes. The next command is line. So to bring in a line, type L for line and press enter, and this is your line. To differentiate between a line and a polyline, the middle hot grip for this line will always be a thick box and not a thin box like the polyline. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we know that this is a line and this is the polyline. The difference is this middle thick box. This is, for a polyline it's thin, and for a normal line it's a thick. The next command that we use most of the time is a construction line. To bring in a construction line, you will type XL for X line or construction line and press enter. Click wherever you wish to put that construction line. Put one for the horizontal, put one for vertical and one for horizontal. Now a reference line allows you to work with drawings easily. It creates a reference surface for you so that you can work with it. If you don't want, you don't have to use this. The next are the different types of circles. AutoCAD has several different kinds of circles in it. This is a center to radius circle. So if you wish to create a center to radius circle, firstly click on the center to radius circle option, click in the middle, click wherever you want, and then just enter your radius. So if you wish to make a circle of 24 meters diameter, you will have to enter a radius of 12 mm. Not 12 mm, 12 meters. Sorry. Now as you can see, you have created a circle of 24 meter diameter with a 12 meter radius. The next option on circles is a center diameter. So for this one, you don't have to enter a radius, you just have to enter your diameter. So if I wish to create a 24 meter circle, what I'll do is I'll enter 24 and just press enter, and it will create a 24 meter circle for you, like so. The next is a 2-point circle. So basically what you have to do is click on one point and you have to enter your diameter again. So if I want to make a circle of diameter 24 meters, I will do that. Or what you can do is take this 2-point circle and just click whoever you wish. So let's say if you want to put this between a reference line, you can do that. So by using a 2-point circle command, you can put one point there and the other point there, and that's how easy it is for you to work on. Now we also have a 3-point circle. One, and you specify your height. So to use a 3-point circle, what you do is select on the 3-point circle command, put on point 1, click on point 1, click on point 2, then you specify your height. Let's say if I want to put it as 24, it will give you a circle of 24 meters in diameter. The other one is a 10-10 radius. So what this does basically is when you select this option, you just have to select the tangents. Tangent point. Remember, your tangent snapping should be turned on. This is a quadrant. You need to turn on your tangent snapping. In this video is turned on. We'll also turn on the quadrant and a center. So what you can do is by a 10-10 circle, all you have to do is click on one line, click on the other line, and just enter your radius of whichever thing you know is right. So that made you a circle. Similarly with the 10-10-10, all you have to do is just click on the tangents and it draws you a perfect circle. Now that we have done circle, let's move to the two kinds of polygons. Now a polygon can be found either over here, or you can type the polygon command. So the command for polygon is poly, polygon, and it'll ask you for a number of sides. Now you can enter 2 sides, but it won't draw a polygon. So you can enter 3 sides, or you can enter 8 sides. Then whatever sides you wish to enter, press then enter. Then specify the center of the polygon. So click wherever you have to. Now this shows you inscribe the circle and circumscribe. This polygon, this option will allow you to draw inside of a circle, and this one will allow you to draw from outside of a circle. A circle can be a reference point. You don't have to draw a circle for that. So we'll do an inscribe, and we can just enter our diameter. So let's say if I wish to say enter a diameter of 12 meters, and it made a perfect polygon for you. So that's an inscribed. Now let's do a circumscribed. Click on polygon, enter your number of sides. In this case, I'll do 12. Click your point wherever you wish to, and let's make a circumscribed. And that is your polygon there. Now when it says inscribed or circumscribed, this is inscribed, this is circumscribed. This is inscribed, sorry. It is inside the circle. And this is the other option. This is the inscribed. And this will be a circumscribed. As you can see, it's outside. So now that we have done polygon, let's move on to trim and extend command. So this is a very simple command. Let's say if you have made 2 lines like so. Let me just put 3 or 4 so it's better for understanding. So if you wish to trim this line so that it does not extend beyond this plane, what you do is select your line, then type TR for trim, then press enter, and just delete whichever one you wish for it to exit the plane. Now that you can see, this line does not cross this line over here, as you have trimmed it. So let's do one more. If you wish to trim these two, so what we can do is type TR for trim, select both your lines, press enter, and just trim it off. Now if you do not select a plane for which a line should cut against, you will not be able to trim. Let me show you. Like so, you will not be able to trim. You can trim this, but you can't trim this. So if you wish to trim all of them, just select all, enter trim command, and trim whichever one you think is right. Now that we have done trim, let's move to extend. So if you wish to extend this line to this plane, all you have to do is select both your planes, type an EXTEND for extend, press enter. And as you can see that we are extended, that we have extended and trimmed it. Now the next option is the fillet option. Most people get this wrong, but let me tell you how to actually make this. So first let me set up the exercise. Now some people use a tedious method of clicking on this, bringing it down here, then clicking on this, bring it over here, then select and then trim. It's a waste of time method. Let me show you a simple method how to do that. So if you see this open corner, or if you're seeing a very small open corner, what you can do is type F for fillet, then press enter, then type R for radius, press enter, then add a 0 radius, then press enter, and just select your lines. It has created a solid fillet for you. You don't have to pull your lines and then trim them off. No. Similarly, there are at times when the corners are not actually closed properly, and you will not be able to hatch inside. So what you can do is type F for fillet, enter, R for radius, enter, and just enter a 0 radius. Once you get that tick box, you can do that. Now the best practice for this is you use a multiple fillet. So let's say we are doing a radius of we are making a radius of 6 millimeters on this rectangle on all four sides. So you don't have to enter the command several times. What you have to do is just type F space or F enter, then R enter, then enter your radius. I'll just call it a 12. Press enter. And then you can apply to one corner if you wish. Similarly, if you wish for all corners, just recall the command, click on multiple, and you're on your way to filleting all your corners. Now, if you have a filleted edge, remember you will not be able to drag and pull this out. This line will become funny. So what you can do is to unfillet this. Just do fillet again. Type F for fillet, then R, enter, then enter your radius of 0, and you have a perfect corner there. What a fillet does is keeps all of your line joined. Now the next thing that we will do is chamfer. A chamfer just creates a diagonal line like so, and it makes your drawings or your edges look neat. So to do a chamfer, just type CHA for chamfer. Then you will use a distance method, because mostly a chamfer in architecture is described at a distance of 10 millimeters. A chamfer to be of 10 millimeters. So type 10, press enter. Then you put your second distance, type 10 again and enter. And then just select both of your lines. This will give you a 10 mm long fillet along this edge. Undo and whoops. Let's say if you have deleted a line by mistake, what you can do is press Ctrl plus Z to bring it back. Or what you can do is type oops, OOPS, press enter, and it will bring back your drawings. Now, if you have oops command or if you have done a Ctrl Z, please be very careful. Do not press the enter or the spacebar, as it will keep on undoing everything you have done and you will reach to ground zero. So at the current moment, I did not enter any command, so watch what happens. As you can see in this command, it keeps on typing oops. It keeps on undoing everything that I've just done. So you will have to be very careful of that. The next is a viewport. I have shown this in a separate video, but I'll just, for the sake of learning, I'll just show it again. There are two ways that you can bring in your viewport. One is a command and the other one is from the tab. So before you bring in your viewport, you have to turn on the def points layer. Then you type MV for viewport, press enter, and just select it corner to corner. Now if you wish to bring it in through a tab, you can click on this view. Then you can click on viewports. Then you can just say one viewports. You can click it there and bring it over there, and that's your viewport. Now the next thing that we will do is we will use a divide command. A divide makes your work easier. You don't have to enter your distances every time. So let's say if I wish to divide this line in the middle, let me draw that line. If you wish to divide this line in the middle, what you will do is you'll draw your line, and then if you wish to use a calculator, you will click on these properties, then you'll go to the length, and then you'll enter it in your calculator. However, if you wish to divide this line, there is another method. You type a div for divide, then press enter. Then select your line and you enter the number of segments you wish to divide it with. In this case, I would like to divide it at a segment of 6. Press enter. Now as you can see, it has divided the line, but the division nodes look very small. To make these division nodes large, what we do is we type DDP type. That's DDP type. And this will bring your node options. As you can see, it's set to this. You can put it to a cross. Initially, it will be set to a point, so you can put it to a plus. And what you can do here is you can increase this size to whichever size that you like. Once you click OK, it will become large. Now, I did not select the points there, so let me just select and redo it again. Select your points, then type DDP type. Press enter. Select your cross points, select whichever one you think is right, then you enter your size. Let's put it for 100 for this one and click on OK. Now since I am zoomed out to 1:100, it's going to show you in very small, but it's actually there. The next thing that we will do is use a rectangle command. So in order to bring a rectangle, you can either click here and just click on one point and enter your sizes, let's say 12 by 24. Remember, this is in mm, that's why it's getting short. Or you can just type REC for rectangle and click on one point and bring it to wherever you think is right. The next is a join option. You can use this option with a line only, not with a polyline. So let me show you. First, you draw your line. When you draw your line, it does not create jointed corners, especially if you're using separate lines like so. So as you can see that these are separate lines. Now what you can do is select all these lines and type J for join, and then press enter. Now as you can see, it has become one solid union. The opposite of this command is explode. So if you wish to separate those lines again, what you can do is type explode, EXP for explode, press enter. Click on the object and press enter. Now you can see that it has created 4 separate lines. If I click on one, it does not select the rest of the 3, it will only select one. Now, a very useful tool in architecture that we use is a measuring tape. Now, you cannot use a measuring tape in AutoCAD, but you can use a dimension, or you can use a distance command. Simply enter DI for distance and press enter. And just click point to point wherever you have to measure. To recall a command, click on the space button or both of the enters, and then you can recall your command. So as you can see that by using the recall command, I am measuring all my distances. The next one are dimensions. There are several kinds of dimensions here. Let me just show you. These are all the dimensions. A linear dimension will keep your dimensions going straight. Let me show you what I mean. A linear will keep your dimension straight. So for a linear dimension, you type DIM, LIN, it's dimension linear. Then you take a point, and you bring it up. Remember, the scale is set to 1:100, so you can change it if you wish. And then you can just bring in your linear dimension, type DIM, LIN, click on the point, click on this point and press enter, and select place it wherever you wish to. Now you have created a neat dimension. But this does not work on a diagonal line. Let me show you. Don't be fooled by this. This only works on a straight line. So if you wish to dimension a linear line, a diagonal line, what you type is DIM, then ALI, that's aligned dimension. Press enter. Now you'll see the difference in the diagonal sizes. As you can see that this is 289, a complete 39 millimeter different from the actual linear dimension lines. So once again, DIM, ALI, that's dimension aligned for diagonals, and there you go. Now the next command is erase. So if you wish to erase some of the things, you can do it two ways. You can use this button here, this tab, click on this, then click your objects and press enter. Or you can type ERA, erase, select your erase command, then select whatever you wish to delete, or you can use a window to select as well, and just press enter. So what that does is, it basically erases everything, but you'll waste your time. But what I like to do is just select whatever I don't want with either single or a window select, and I just press on delete. That is all for this part of the video. In the next part, I will show you the rest of the 18 or 17 commands that I have not covered, because I do not wish to make the videos too long. So if you enjoyed in this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, tell your friends about us, and let's try to bring this channel to 1000 subscribers so that my videos can actually show up on the internet. so that students can benefit from this. Thank you very much.